Hey everyone, Harrison here with Audio Advice. First, I want to thank you for purchasing your Eversolo unit from Audio Advice. We greatly appreciate your support. Now in this video, I'm going to walk you through setting up each of these Eversolo units. I'm going to be using the A8 version. It's very similar to the A6 and A6 Master Edition. They have the same setup process, but for this video, I'll be using the A8, and you'll get a good idea of how to initially set it up, and I'll show you a few tips and tricks throughout the video as we walk through it. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing you want to do is plug the power cord in and press in the volume knob, which is your power button. Now, I'm going to go through the setup process here and show you a couple tips and tricks on the screen, but if I go too fast or if any of this doesn't quite make sense, you can always just call or chat with any of our experts at audioadvice.com, and they can walk you through any of this stuff if you are stuck on anything. But again, I'll go through the most basic setup and show you a little bit of tips and tricks on how to get this customized and ready to go for most people. But if you want to dive a little deeper, just know our experts are only a phone call or chat or email away. Now, you can see it's booted up here. The first thing I want to do is select my language and my time zone. So I'll select that. Most of this is pretty self-explanatory, so just follow the on-screen instructions. If you plug in Ethernet, it will automatically show up. But for us, I'm just going to connect it to Wi-Fi real quickly here. All right, we're connected. We will go to the next screen. From here, you can take your smartphone and pull up the camera where you can scan, and that will download the app, the Eversolo app for you. Or you can go to the App Store and search Eversolo. Once you have the app installed, if you are on the same network, you can pull it up. I will show you on my phone here. So you'll open the Eversolo app, hit Add Device. And from here, it's going to show you a couple different Eversolo devices. Now, I'm using the A8, which has pretty much the same exact setup as the A6 and A6 Master Edition. Now, you'll see if you do have the A6 Master Edition, the Master Edition will not show up on the app here. You're simply going to want to use the regular A6 for the A6 and the A6 Master Edition. I'm using the A8, so I will hit Next. And you can see it pops up. Since I'm on the same Wi-Fi, I can simply hit Add, and there we go, we're added. Now, I do want to show you, if you are not on the same network or you're having trouble, you can always hit this icon up here where you can scan the QR code on the right here, and that will help you get connected to the app even easier. So if you have multiple devices as well, you can see them here, but this is where you select it. I'm going to show you a couple different things in the app here, but I'll first walk you through on screen. So you'll hit Next now that you're connected to the app and you're ready to start using it. Now you're going to see these little pieces of information pop up teaching you how to use the unit, which is really cool. And once you hit I got it, it won't show up again, so you won't have to be annoyed. But it's really self-explanatory, and it's really cool that it shows you all the little tips and tricks as you go. So for example, as you open music, it'll show you how to pull the menu bar out and how to get to the play details, and simply hit I got it and it won't show it again. So you can see all the different options on the left, and if you go up here, that's going to show the current song that's playing. It also is going to show you how you can swipe and change the screen here. Now, to go back home on any of these, if you're in the music app or any other app, there's icons on the right that are play, next, previous, home, and return. You can always just hit this home button, and that will take you right back to home. When you hit streaming, you'll see all the native icons here. So these you're able to control all from the app as well. You can click on them and sign in to any ones that you like. Down here are the third-party music apps. If you want to download one, simply click on it, and it will start downloading. And again, these ones you cannot control from the app unless you're using the cast method, which I will show you in a minute. So download the third-party apps that you like. Here's the cloud drivers, and of course, Tidal Connect, Spotify Connect shows those as well. So let's go back home. Next, you have your files. If you have a device connected, like a USB or a hard drive, they're all sorted in this area here. And this is also where you can use that SMB function. So if you want to play music and this is your storage device, you can simply access it right from this menu. There's a couple settings. Pretty much everything here you can play with, but I leave default and it's ready to go. Next is your source. So if you have input from a different source here, you select it there. I'm going to keep mine on internal player because that's what I'm using. And then down here will be your output port. So for us, we were using balanced XLR in our reviews. You simply click that so that it's active, and there's a little settings button there where you're able to tap on it. You can see the format and the max sampling rate. You can also hit settings from there, and you can set a couple different things. Now, the first thing that I do when I set it up, I go in and volume protection is turned off. I turn that on so it will detect and protect my speakers in case it does play too loudly if you're connected up to something else. And I also go in and turn down my volume limit to roughly maybe -10 or -20. Just again, that will protect me in case there's any incidents. The rest of it you can adjust if you'd like, but I leave it right how it is. And again, if you want to adjust it for each one, you will have to go into each setting and turn it on for each one. Now we will go back and we will go to the settings button. From here, you can also click on, you'll see the output. Those are the settings that I just adjusted. A couple different options in here. I pretty much leave this exactly how it is. You will want to make sure this Eversolo original sampling rate is turned on. It comes default turned on, but make sure that's on, especially if you're using a third-party app like Apple Music, so that you can play the highest resolution from Apple Music. In the display tab, you can adjust the screen brightness. I like it about halfway so it's not too distracting. And then you can also adjust the knob brightness. You'll see on the right side here. I like it, again, maybe about halfway. Now this is where you can also adjust the screensaver to come on screen. So for me, I turn it on about 30 minutes. You may want it longer, that's totally up to you. And the screensaver mode, so if you want it black or if you want the time or a clock, you can select that here as well. So again, just a little couple things to kind of customize it to yourself. It will come default on the black, but it's pretty cool to have the time pop up on the screensaver if you're not using it for a while. Next, you can adjust the view meters. Now, it's going to come default on this yellow one, but say I like this blue one the most. If I select that, when I click the view meter, when I'm playing a song, it will automatically go to the blue, so I don't have to swipe through every time. Again, a nice touch that Eversolo did this, so if you do like the blue, it's just a one button press and you can adjust it in the settings. Same thing with the play detail theme. You can go in here and select different themes. So say you want just the words on screen, and you don't want to have to swipe to it every single time you turn it on and play a song, you can select that here. Or say you like the spinning album art, you can simply select it, which one will be the default theme. Same thing with the spectrums. If you like color, say I like this really colorful one here, select it. When I click the spectrum button, it will automatically show up. I don't have to swipe through every single time. And if you want a really clean look and say you don't want these buttons on the side all the time, you can also turn that on so these will hide and you'll simply swipe it to get them back. I like to keep them on so that I can quickly access them, but it is a cool feature if you want a really clean look. Network, again, this will be where your Wi-Fi is and your Ethernet if you have it connected. The phone control will show the app and the connection QR code if you need it as well. The SMB server, this shows you how to access it, what you'll plug into your computer to be able to access this. We'll go down to general. I pretty much keep this exactly how it is. Transfer, these will be where you'll plug into your browser on your computer and you can actually transfer music over that way if you're on the same network on your PC. And about just shows you what's in your system. So we'll click the home button. All the bottoms on the icon you see here is where you can adjust and add different icons so they're quickly accessible. I use Tidal and Qobuz quite a bit, so I like to add those there. You can also add some third-party apps if you'd like, the setup, the update, as many as you really want here, or as little as you'd like. So you can see you can scroll through and click them so that you don't have to always go in and find them. So that way Qobuz is right on the home screen for me, and I simply click that and I can control it right from there. Most of these are pretty self-explanatory, the apps. The CD app, when you plug in a CD player, this is also where the CD ripper will live. So once you plug it in, if you want to rip CDs, that's the app that you will use. The A6 and A6 Master Edition will have this EQ button, just like the A8. And again, it's going to show you a couple tips as you open it, which is pretty cool. Now, you can add different configuration rooms. So I can add things like a den or an office, different rooms or different seating locations, however you want to set it up. Once you click into it, you'll see the graphic EQ, parametric EQ, and make sure if you do adjust these, when you go back, make sure that you turn it on so that it's ready to go and it's on. Now for the A8, this is where it gets a little bit more fun. You can go into the DSP app, which the A6 and A6 Master do not have. And again, some tips on screen here. Same idea, you can add as many different ones as you'd like. So when you go into the configuration, you get a couple different things like the compressor, the loudness, the FIR filter, high pass and low pass. You can experiment with those. One of the biggest ones is this parametric EQ that you can adjust right on screen here or from your app. So you can select different frequencies and then adjust them and select the exact frequency you want. Now you can press these plus and minus buttons, or you can click on it and you can plug in the exact number you want. for the frequency, for the gain, so I can go over here and adjust it how I want. Now this is where it can get a little technical, so if you are familiar with something like Room EQ Wizard, you can find the peaks in your room and you can go in and adjust them here. And when you go back, say you do some different settings, make sure that it is turned on. And when you go back, if you're using the internal player, make sure that it is turned on for configuration 1 so that it actually uses those settings that you set. Next, I want to show you the app really quick. You'll see you have all the same icons on the app as you have right here on the home screen. You can also easily adjust the volume very quickly. You can use this, or you can hit plus and minus for more control there. And you can go into streaming, Qobuz, and have full control. So let's go ahead and play a song here. And you can see, remember when I adjusted the theme, it always shows up as this theme. You don't have to go back and redo it every single time. And same with the spectrum here and my blue VU meters. Okay, so from here, again, you can adjust the volume, what song, play, pause, everything else. And you can go back. Now, let's say you are using something like Apple Music. Let's boot up Apple Music here. This is a third-party app, and you won't have control, as you can see here, in the streaming section of the Eversolo app. So what you can do is go to Cast. Now what this will do is cast the exact screen with almost no lag. So anything you press on here will also happen on the screen. And this way you can control the volume on the right here. You can go home and you can actually interact with Apple Music since you aren't able to use it natively. Now this is also a cool feature because you can adjust all your settings from here. So if you don't want to use the screen, you can always hit DSP over here and adjust everything right on your phone. So it's a pretty cool feature to be able to fully screencast here. And if you are controlling music, again, I would just use it for third-party music. I don't really see a reason why to use it with Qobuz like this because it will look a lot better. It'd be a lot easier if you just use Qobuz in here where it's native for it. But again, a really cool feature to be able to cast the exact thing from your screen directly to your phone. All right, so I hope that this has helped you get set up and ready to go. If there are more questions that you have about this, again, chat or call with us at audioadvice.com. We greatly appreciate you being a customer of Audio Advice, and our experts will make sure that everything is set up for you correctly if any of this didn't make sense. And thanks again, and we'll see you next time.